fucking hell. It's too hot, man. It's like 18 degrees and up there. Oh, fucking hell. 45 minutes with 5 people. I'm gonna melt, mate. I'm really at this room that I do not have aircon in the UK. Fucking hell. I got double glazed windows put in. We used to have just a single pane. Oh my god. Oh yeah, the fucking people are getting pissed off at F1 now because did you know the Formula E race today?
No.
The Formula E race in Monaco today, and in one Monaco race with 29 laps, there was 113 overtakes. It was a really good race. It was bizarre. And people are like, more overtakes in a 29 lap race in Monaco than F1's had this season.
How is that even possible then? In Monaco?
Formula E cars, man. They're like the size of 2007 F1 cars.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. The design,
And that just, I mean, it just shows why we need smaller F1 cars, because these big ones are shit.
Done. It was great working with you again.
Mm-hmm. They went 3 wide through the hairpin and everything. It's well, insane. Right.
How much fuel did you start?
47 liters. I forgot to change it.
Starting with 35. Back off, maybe? You're gonna get a penalty like that.
Okay.
I just stand still if I were you.
It's fine, I'm just crawling.
Yeah, you're way ahead.
It's fine.
Oh, brake. Oh,
No.
that's good. Okay, nice. That's kind of shot. P1 to P.
You have the pace to get back to P1 in a couple last minutes. I can't. Is the mandatory tyre change in the wet? Because I can't select it. It says tyre change is not ticked, and it won't let me tick it.
I will watch the traffic for you. It is wet with 19 degrees air temperature and 24 degrees track temperature. You have qualified for
Okay.
1P. There are 44 exciting minutes ahead. And now focus. The race start is near.
Oh my god, the spray.
Car on the right. Attention right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Right is clear. Right clear.
I've never raced in conditions this bad in this game.
Hi Chico, here is Jonah. I will take care of your car today. Kato is also here. You can call us whenever you want.
Wait, what the fuck?
Attention right, right clear.
What the fuck? These guys are fucking idiots. No, I went round the outside and I was fucking like a full car's length ahead of him and he just ran me. What the fuck, mate? Well, at least it gives me something to do.
Well done. You didn't lose any position at the start.
Well, they've just been driving around in first place for a while, so. He let me past. He knows he fucked up. Why are they pitting? Okay, well, Max at left. I would assume Barros will leave as well. This guy's still in the pits. He should probably look at his. Okay, I just went off. I mean, yeah. We could just end this short, mate.
The car 1 position behind you falls back. You gain 2.9 seconds in 3 laps. Great.
Yeah, I'm sweating, bro. I'm not even the race. I'm actually dying.
It's not even summer yet. Well,
I know, I'm gonna be cooked.
The gap to the car 1 position behind you is currently 5.8 seconds.
How many people were last week?
7 or something.
What the fuck happened today?
I don't know. I think people generally don't like Silverstone.
Only 14 people even saw the fucking check-in thing though. Yeah. I think I might just practice ones on me. It's probably a much better use of our time.
One hand, I agree. On the other hand, the other guy's still driving, so
Yeah, we can just type in chat to him. I can just type in chat to him and ask him if he wants to cut it short. You know, he's not going to catch you, he's leaving time to you, so he should be happy with second place. Yeah, I'll just type to him.
Attention in second sector, yellow flag. Green flag.
Holy fuck, it's so sweaty now.
okay. I guess. I'll set up for Monza then.
Well done. Come to the pits now.
Monza's up. Be right back. Back. Adam.
If I would gotten that other lap, that would be like sorted completely. But
Yeah, you almost
I'm
got a
kinda
point
worried.
one. Like that was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. Making a lot of mistakes anyway, so I haven't even done
Oh,
a quick lap yet, so
I'm back. Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
Dead.
I'm glad I'm not driving an Audi. Holy shit. Let's go. Valor right behind Richie. Yeah, I've been benched. That's it now. I'm on the Veloce bench. It should be 6 more laps.
Yeah, I pressed 7 of 2.
Brilliant. Let's go.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, good. Nothing. I thought my game crashed. I selected the Cosmosis livery.
Oh no. Do you have the correct one?
Yeah, I have the old. I have the orange black one. I don't have
What
the space
happens
one.
when the 2 weak
send it
links
to
sit
you.
out of this race? Me and Luke are out of the race, and what's gonna happen, you know?
Just hurry up,
To
man.
be fair, Grant has sit out quite a lot of that race as well.
Mache and Grant is the dream team. Fucking awesome stuff.
Also, what a race in the middle. Like, all that, like, different pit stop strategies, trying to undercut, overcut,
Yeah.
playing with fuel,
Yeah.
different engine maps, like, great dynamic throughout the race. Between two really strong teams.
I'm new. Which car is best to learn right now? There's so many cars you can learn in.
Alright.
Right now,
Alright.
I feel like the Porsche isn't as hard to drive as it used to be.
Right.
So Porsche isn't like an absolute no-go anymore, but I think the easiest car right now to drive is probably the Mercedes if you're new, just because it goes over the curbs so easily. Like, so easily, so you can focus on just learning the track without making a mistake and dying. If you want something a little bit more fun,
What is it again? So it's
maybe go
the
for the Ferrari, because that is also
liveries
quite easy car
file
to drive
has the
initially.
actual
The stock aggressive
file,
setups on the Ferrari are okay,
and then the
because
JSON
it's
goes
made for this patch.
in cards. Okay.
So, the Mercedes, the Ferrari, the BMW is always a safe choice. Apparently,
though.
Aston has some weird bottoming out issues now for some strange reasons. So, maybe Aston isn't one to pick. But, yeah, BMW, Ferrari, and AMG are probably the best to go with right now if you're new.
Nice.
Drive them and see what you think, right? But yeah, AMG, like, for example, where's an AMG right now? Look at this AMG here, as long as he doesn't cock it up. He'll probably cock it up and make it look stupid, but... The AMG just takes those curbs like they don't exist. Like they literally just don't exist. BMW is also pretty similar. Bit of a bounce,
Fuck me, I just
and he goes
remember we
into
have
the
race
grass.
tomorrow, George.
Of course, he goes into the grass. Let's see this AMG.
Don't you feel like the Ferrari is a bit
Literally doesn't
boring
exist.
though?
Whereas
I do.
Whereas the other
100%.
cars
I'm really bored of it.
take it with a little bit more of a bounce.
I actually.
The MG is by
I
far
mean,
the
it's
best
what
car
we
in
have to
terms of
drive tomorrow, isn't it?
like,
But I
by
want to try another
far,
car. I played
just-
nothing but the
Yeah.
Ferrari.
It
Yeah,
just
okay,
is
so
glued to
let's
the
hop
road,
in the
right?
Porsche.
Whereas you see like these
Try it.
cars, a little bit more of a
Sure.
hop.
If I go and
BMW
practice
is really
more
good.
Ferrari now, I think I can't be arsed, man.
Real. Is a server on Monza?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I have to reload the game to change
Yeah, I'm
the
really bored of it, man.
to change the whatever it is rotation.
Don't have any setup for this, so.
No, but I should.
Not one. Do you have one in your folders? Well, actually, no. You got the new setup, new car.
Yeah.
I mean, just the engine noise of the Porsche alone keeps me engaged. The Ferrari is boring as fuck.
I like the engine of the Ferrari better than the old Ferrari, that's for sure. But
Yeah, but then the Porsche 992 engine just sounds beautiful.
it's just it has no character. The Ferrari.
Mm-hmm.
It's quick.
You know what? I'm gonna try the Lambo. I have not driven it yet.
Mm-hmm.
I've also there's so many cars in this game I've never driven. Never driven a Mercedes. Never driven the Aston.
Oh, I've driven most of them.
Lamborghini Huracan. Are the fucking headlights like what are those headlights? But they look like stickers. Why is everyone green? Okay, no, that was black.
Battery low. Okay.
Aggressive is probably going to be the worst setup ever. It definitely sounds like a Lambo. Whoa, the fucking Lambo. Holy, sounds insane.
It's not bad, no.
I mean, it sounds like this sounds like the most accurate recreation of what one sounds like in real life in the game.
Yeah, the sound in this game is absolutely fucking spot on.
Yeah, I could close my eyes and I could be sat in a real life Lamborghini. This is bizarre. Like, perfect. Although the camera settings are way off. Can I set camera settings per car specific?
No, not as far
Okay.
as I know. Maybe
Okay.
maybe it's possible, but I don't think so.
Okay, well in that case, view settings, pitch.
Hi Chico,
I have to see
I am
all
Melissa.
of the dash.
I will
man,
keep
okay.
an eye on the other cars for you. It is dry with 22
No, wait, never
degrees air
mind. It's just the
temperature
fucking
and 30
windshield
degrees
is like
track
tiny on
temperature.
Lambo. Okay, I thought I just couldn't see much. Just a pointy car. Are you allowed to swap car mid-season in the Endurance Championship? Whip. Oh my god. Wow. That was something else. I can't see what I'm doing.
Yellow flag in third sector.
What? Porsche?
Drive?
Green flag.
Yeah, what about it?
And was.
Right and forward.
And it turned in. It did turn in. Like you said, me too far.
Do you have a setup? Yeah. I need to try and find the Lambo one. I want to see what it's like.
I'm not
No. You have a Valencia, Suzuka, Misano, and Kyle Lamy for the Lambo, but no ones.
that was weird, man. 15 FPS.
Yellow flag in third
Porsche's gonna.
sector.
Wait, I joined the game. Maybe it was that.
No, it was after. I don't have a setup for the Lambo because I don't have an idea.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. What's the Lambo straight line speed like?
Good.
Right, these camera settings. This fucking dashboard. What is this?
Attention in first sector. Yellow flag. Green flag.
Bro, I feel like Yuki Tsunoda.
So it's so little.
Attention in first sector. Yellow flag.
What the fuck? I need to. This is weird.
Yellow flag is cleared.
Yeah, that's better. I'm using the dash cam, like always.
You can't just hop.
Attention in second sector. Yellow flag.
Don't need to set up.
Track is clear.
Oh, you can't just drive. Yeah, you have to warm up to it.
Yeah.
Well, what's the real rotation in the Lambo? I don't know, but it feels alright.
Attention in third sector. Yellow flag.
Okay, I'm still on 1,000.
That's so good by plus faster than we can.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep it at 1,000. Yeah, I can't be bothered restarting the game.
Yellow flag in third sector. Yellow flag is cleared.
No, I don't think I can even complete a lap in the Lambo. This aggressive preset's awful. They're both. It's like Fernando's F1 car from Formula 1 to the F1 car from 2014 or something. Or 13. It's fucking oversteers and understeers in the same corner.
Hi Chico, here is Jonah. I will take care of your car today. Our race strategist Kato is here as well. And now good luck.
Certainly can't ride curbs very well. The acceleration of the Lamborghini, oh my god. It's so good. Oh my god. What the fuck am I driving?
Attention in second sector, yellow flag.
Oh man.
Okay, then bring the car home.
Oh my days, what the fuck? What is it doing, man?
Oh my god. I'm not even going to try to control that. I hit the sausage curb on the middle of a Scari and just fucking, literally nearly to the flip.
Yeah. Fucking these guys, man. Okay. What? Task. send setups.
Right.
The Porsche is a challenge, that's for sure.
Yeah. I love it though. Porsche's my favourite car in real life and in this game. Oh. Yeah, they went flying. What time is quali? Shit, what time's quali? Oh, we'll have like an hour, 40 minutes.
Here is Elisa. I will watch the traffic for you.
It feels like a new car. The downshifts in the Lamborghini are actual fucking eargasm. Well, let's see. I wonder if you could make the race like Gallardo even remotely competitive. I'm surprised it's actually in the game because it was fucking. I remember using PT for 8 years. Oh my god. Top speed just keeps going. Holy shit.
Nee, ik kan het niet grippen!
Hey, bro, the brakes are so good. I broke at about 150 like I'm used to for the fucking Ferrari, and it stopped way before, and I'm not going 270 kilometers an hour. Oh, it eats up fuel though.
Can't bother doing this at the moment. Just hurry that thing up, man. fuck's sakes, man. Just crashed again.
Lamborghini is a weird one. You feel like you're driving the fastest lap of your life, but you end up going a second. I end up going a second slower than what I was in the Ferrari.
Yeah, but you need to adjust to the car.
Yeah, I know.
But it feels faster, yeah, I know. I think it's because it's the car is shorter or something.
It's more agile, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so much quicker to turn in turn 1, 2. I do need to try the likes of the Mercedes though.
Yeah. That is like completely different.
Here is Eliza. I will watch the traffic for you. It is dry with 23 degrees air temperature and 30 degrees track temperature.
I run up fuel, nice.
Yellow flag in second sector. Green flag.
Does anyone ever drive the Lexus? I don't think so.
It's supposed to be very awesome.
Here I am in the Lexus. Let's see how fast it is on the straight. Let me just put the wings down. Aero. Okay, it doesn't even have. Okay.
That's no range.
Yeah. What the fuck is this noise? Oh, that's weird. Okay, I have to take the run off after coming out the pits. Oh, this sounds very odd.
Hi Chico, here is Jonah. I will take care of your car today. Our race strategist Kato is here as well. You can call us whenever you want.
Okay, I have to take this run off now. Bro, the car nearly did a front flip over the fucking sausage curb. The rear wheels lifted up for like 2 seconds. Right, okay, I'm gonna change some things. Fucking hell, it does not slow down. Electronics. ABS. I guess, yeah, whatever, fuck that. Let's put that there. There we go. Jesus Christ, that was funny. gonna lie, the Lexus acceleration is crazy. It gets up to 200 kilometers an hour like instantly. The only problem is I feel like I'm driving an SUV. I don't know, it's massive. Well, I'll try that next. Oh my god. $250 kilometers an hour and it's in 5th gear. Parabolic did not go well. Right, where do I brake? 200 meters or what? Unlimited torque.
Yeah, just 275. Yeah, it does. And it has 7 clicks of
What?
yeah.
So is that the fastest car in a straight line in the game?
I think currently, at least for the Bible ones, yeah.
Oh my god. This Lexus is all over the place. It's more corrections than the wet Silverstone.
It's very heavy.
What is it? On the Lexus it's 3.37, not much better. Yeah, 2.3 or whatever. I mean, I did a 151 in the Lexus and I'm all over the place with the aggressive shuttle. Bruh. Braking at 150 meters would not work. It sounds like a motorbike. Ooh. I'm fucking drifting around the parabolica, bro. I just did a full drift around it. This is a fucking Formula drift car. Just fully drifted around it. So easy. What the fuck was that? Get me off this car.
Yellow flag in third sector.
It's fucking dark.
Green flag.
That's funny. Fun for some online races, not sure about league racing. Right, alright, next. I've never driven the BMW. Porsche 9. No, of course not.
Only
I've
one
never
lap
driven a
before
Porsche
you
Cup
will
car.
run
either.
out of fuel.
What's the STs? What's the Huracan STs? What do they do? So they're slow. Wait, what? I don't even know if it. I do not. It says locked. Why is it locked? Which does even is then? Oh my god, they have a fucking BMW hatchback in this game. TCX. Oh, Bentley. Let's try the Bentley. It's Bentley. Yeah, Bruce Strictly.
So slow.
Somehow. So, got a 49. What's the aero on the Bentley? Okay, 0-0. Oh my god. My god. Right, this is a what the fuck is this dashboard? Oh, I'm driving on the right.
Yeah, it said it's right at the
Oh god, I feel like I'm in a fucking. I feel like I'm in the car outside. Oh, this is weird. Oh no. If I drove this on a fucking league race, I'd be constantly punting people to my left.
I miss Apex as miles per hour.
Maybe because I don't have a left-hand car in real life, maybe I'll be able to do it well. Yeah, I'm thinking of left-hand side of the road. It's not going great. It's so slow. Yeah. Drifting, boys. What the fuck?
Car left.
Left is clear.
Car left. Left clear.
Oh god, I was fucking on the wrong side of the car. Drove right over the sausage curb.
25 minutes remaining for the current session.
Yeah, we can go on an online lobby for Monza, see what happens. I'm down.
Car left.
This thing.
Attention left.
Left is clear.
Oh my god. I'm driving it like a radical.
Merc is supposed to be really fucking fast. I can't get that right. Dat was ontrajbaar. Wat de fuck is that bullshit?
Which?
I didn't get off track. I was still driving.
This car doesn't function. True.
Attention in third sector. Yellow flag. Okay, then
Get me
bring
off
the
Spain,
car
yeah.
home.
Jesus, how can we play an online session together then? We can't do that, can we?
Why?
You never can do that. You can't join with your friends.
No, we just find the same lobby.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, on a saver list. I'm being a moron. I thought you meant quick match. Right. What do we do? We go back in the Ferrari.
No, I'm not. I'm just gonna drive the Merc.
I will drive the Lambo then. Right. Just sort by Monza then. Let's see.
Search on Monza.
ASG Racing Monza, 19 out of 25.
ASG. Yeah. Preferably one.
That is in quali.
Yeah. So Fox Motorsport.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get him in. 21 out of 22, so
Yeah. Are you in?
yeah.
So am I.
Okay, good. I'm in the fucking Porsche. What Porsche am I even in?
The old one, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I am. Oh, brother. I mean, hopefully I can rejoin if I leave.
Yeah.
It should be in the fucking...
God,
I'm in the Lambo. The Lambo's selected, bro. The fuck? Okay, it changed real quick. Weird.
yeah, because you select a different server. It tends to do that.
That's not good.
Yes, you're in. Nice.
Squadra Corsa. Set up. Load. Okay. We can't do a lap, can we? Let's start from the back. See how far we can make it up the field. That's the first challenge.
Yeah.
Fastest laps of 49.2. That's not awful, but yeah. Turn one, mate. Prepare yourself.
Yeah. Load up some fuel. Come back to buy me in yellow spot. They buffed the McLaren as well. A bit,
Did they?
yeah, more power.
Oh well. Right, well, here we go. I'll do this and then watch quali.
Yeah.
How long is this?
You're watching online or with the family?
Oh, just on the computer, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, same here, so we can watch together, I guess.
Yeah. Fuel 35 liters, maybe.
No.
Wait, no, wait there.
I do 40. Oh wait, oh yeah, it's 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do 38.
.30-degree track temp.
Yeah.
Oof. 20.
Did you adapt your tire pressures?
Yeah.
So.
Hi Chico,
Right.
I am Eliza. I will
Just
keep
let
an eye
everyone
on the
ahead of
other
us
cars
go
for you.
ahead and then we can just drive in
Drive with
afterwards.
22 degrees air temperature and 30
Same
degrees
one,
track
yeah.
The
temperature.
thing is, I think we have
You
to
have
have
qualified
the
for
fastest
20p.
cars as well.
The race will last 15 minutes.
Oh shit.
And now concentrate,
Look at
it's
the,
about to go
at
green.
the ping we have.
Everyone has that.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's a mayonnaise or... Why does it say keep
Fine.
left?
It does keep right for me. It swapped everyone round. Actually, this is an awful server. You see
wow.
everyone's all over the place.
Some cars issues.
No, I don't know what you mean.
I just go past. I don't want to go quarter before.
Green, go.
Oh shit. Oh shit, I've already overtook 3.
Attention left.
Left
I'm
is
gonna get
clear.
round in the arse.
The cars are floating. Wait, it doesn't even look like they actually... Bro, what the
Car
hell
left.
is this?
Left clear.
Just drove through about 6
Attention
cars.
left.
Left is
Just
clear.
directly drove through about 6 cars. Where are you? And the fucking positions won't update.
Car on the
Oh,
left.
P8.
Hold the line. Car on the left. Still there. Clear on the left.
Oh my god. There's cars that they're taking corners, but the car isn't turning. It's just staying forwards.
So it's in the wall.
Car on the left. Hold the line.
Attention left.
Hopefully ping in this game doesn't really affect your car much, so just the others around you.
Yeah,
Like-
until they teleport into you.
Yeah, true. Well, I'm P6 and you're P8 after 1 lap.
Attention in third sector. Yellow flag. Yellow flag is cleared.
There's a guy weaving.
Attention in third sector. Yellow flag.
Oh, the way I'm catching
Track
up
is
with the
clear.
cars,
Here is Jonah.
Someone's just
I will look
completely missed
after your car in
him.
this session. And you will have support from our strategist Kato. And now good luck.
Feel like you're DRS.
This is the old course in the oh, it's the new one.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Okay, Clement's gone off again. Oh, Ascari's killed him.
Attention in third sector. Yellow flag.
I'm not very fast.
Yellow flag is cleared.
My tyres are too cold. My tyres are low. I think I put the pressures too low.
What are your pressures?
26.0.
Holy shit, I got tired inside there. You have so much motive resistance now.
Oh, hello, Louise.
Yellow flag in first sector.
There's a BMW.
Yellow flag
Get the
is clear.
podium in 3 laps. No, he's on the grass. He's taking the run off. What is
Car
further
on the
in?
right. Clear on the right.
My right tyres are blue.
Attention
shit.
right.
What was that?
Right clear.
I broke at the normal place. I don't know what happened.
Yellow flag in
Maybe 10
first
meters early.
sector.
Oh, the BMW's here. I don't know what happened. Did I look?
Just
Track is clear.
bad stuff.
That's not on my screen. I'm gonna put this BMW. Okay, come to me. It's fine. Nearly broke my wrist, but
Yellow flag in third sector. Track is clear.
the RH trying to brake check me. What the fuck?
The car ahead you is at least one lap down. Show him that you are there.
Why is the Audi so fast in a straight line?
May also just be a little bit.
Yeah, but it's jumping forward and not coming back. Just getting 5/10 or something on the straight.
Yeah, that's because you're just slow. Because your car is
True. I mean, I am still hitting 260, 70, 270 miles an hour, kilometers an hour. Me too. I just overtook the Audi by just driving straight down.
I started racing at 100 leaderboard. I just missed
Where the fuck is that BMW going? Oh my god, what the fuck am I watching?
The car ahead you is at least 1 lap down. Show him that you are there. Attention in second sector, yellow flag. Yellow flag is cleared.
Wait, can I just drive straight on again? What if I just slow down a bit?
but I've had a drive through for
Okay, just a few more laps.
Drive through. Don't
3P,
kid it.
not bad. That will be a good result. Yellow flag in first
3
sector.
laps remaining. Well, technically,
Yellow
there's
flag
3
is
laps
cleared.
left in the game, so. Oh. I got disqualified. Oops.
Your name took me out, didn't you?
No, I drove to the right to avoid you. Right, I'm gonna go just the game. No.
So goddamn much wing on this car.
Oh my god. Alter fault. 2 minutes.
You gain 2.2 seconds to the car behind you. The gap is already 3.7 seconds and you are 0.3 seconds faster.
The gap to the car 1 position ahead of you is currently 12.9 seconds.
Seb may have a momentary lapse of exhaustion during turn 1 and take Abe out. He said flight delayed by an hour, so I'll be an extra hour worth of tired tomorrow morning. What a cook.
Yellow flag in 3rd sector.
What the
Green
fuck
flag.
is...
Oh!
Want me to stream the quali? I've got it on right now.
Yeah, I can't see anything.
I'll put it on for when you finish.
Can we watch it together? I thought
Okay. What? No? I don't have to. Okay, that's fine then. I've got Sky Sports on.
so that's basically the same, exactly the same.
And VLC media player, bro. Twitter that.
VLC.
IPTV, bro.
Oh yeah. Get all the. So you can...
Illegal channels. Illegally rent every TV channel on the planet for the small price of £20 a month
It
or a
was
year.
great working with you again.
Yeah. Is it live again? Multi-viewer. Oh, man, goddamn. Installing update. Skip checking for updates. Yes.
Oh, I can't even get multi-viewer in the UK. It's not. It's because Sky have the rights to F1 in the UK. There's no. You can't watch Formula One on F1 TV in the UK.
There's like a subscription, right?
No.
Not for online either.
I have F1 TV. F1 TV subscription gives you access to like all race replays, but you can't actually watch the races live. And you can't like it gives you access to all the race replays and like all the behind the scenes shit with like the lap times and stuff, but you can't watch any actual live footage.
As his teammate Kevin Magnussen's found on 4 occasions this season, and that does seem to have real potential to be in the top 10.
Yeah, so if I want to do multi-viewer, I'd have to use a VPN every time I want to watch, which I can't be bothered.
It's so close to the rest of the pack, and oh dear, oh dear.
I just watch on Sky Sport. I mean, Sky Sports. Oh shit!
Hulkenberg.
Oversteer City, that one, wasn't it? Back end sliding out. These are two-wheel drive cars, of course, so if you light the throttle up a bit too early, that's what happens. No traction control either.
His teammate Kevin Magnussen goes fast.
Is F1 TV 60 FPS?
It's a little bit too overzealous on the power.
Not like it makes much of a difference, but it does feel smooth, like so much nicer to look at when it's 60 frames.
129.3 from Kevin Magnussen and Nico Hulkenberg, round about 0.8 of a second slower. George Russell goes third fastest for Mercedes.
I don't like watching from F1 TV because I don't know, the commentator used to be the Formula E commentator or something. I don't like him. Or WC or something. I don't know who it is.
Meanwhile, this man, Max Verstappen, has just gone quickest
oh, you do? Okay,
through
good.
the middle sector to be replaced by his teammate Sergio Perez, who's gone a tenth faster.
So have you got David Croft and Ted Kravitz and shit?
127s.
Yeah, the others are horrible.
That's a 128.4. Gasly again and showing good pace for Alpine. That's consistency coming through finally.
Your stream's probably ahead of mine though, unless Sky Sports have it delayed.
Was it?
No, he missed the apex.
Oh, Nico.
Tried to put it right on the throttle. Tried to sort of just brave it out.
Oh, it's fine then.
And ambition way ahead of adhesion.
Might have got away with touching
You should come up.
but it was very, very close.
Yeah, he was off the racing line as well by just missing that apex by a few centimetres.
When you go off that line that has been put down by the 3 practice sessions and the cars running, there is precious little grip there. Sergio Perez currently fast.
It's the Ferrari porpoising.
For a full lap this time with Charles Leclerc, Martin.
What the fuck?
Turn 1, and this early part of the lap, they just come at you thick and fast. And the left-hander that's coming up through 4.
It's looking pretty windy out there.
Yeah, these cars are using the air, of course, for a lot of downforce. So we're into 6, 7, ever slowing turn 8. Arrest any slide on the curb on the outside. Now you're sweeping between the walls until you get down to a very technical part of the racetrack then. Lower downforce there because you need the speed down the back straight. We do open the DRS in qualifying. Traffic trying to stay out of the way. It's still a distraction. And then there's a long, long right-hander here. Patience is required. A tricky left, and then you're into a little hop, skip, and jump through a chicane. They've extended that this year, made it a little bit easier. If you think the car's going
chicane's
through there,
horrendous.
somewhat faster, bit of power oversteer sliding through the exit. Leclerc then onto the back straight. A number of cars still ahead of him that should get out of his way. He's had to go off the racing line to pass that Alpine. And now spot your braking point for turn 17. That's really all you've got to do now on this lap. Floor the throttle, pull the gear shifts up. It's absolutely flat out through to the end. Open your DRS down the pit straight, grab a bit of slipstream from that McLaren, and boom, you're P2.
Alpine on the straight foot
Leclerc was a 10th down going into that final sector where Ferrari had been losing pace compared to the Red Bulls down that long 1.28 kilometre back straight. He still was a 10th off when he crossed the line. Carlos Sainz goes 4th fastest as Alex Albon on his latest run puts his Williams into the top 8. Zhou Guan Yu improves to go 6th fastest overall, and Valtteri Bottas now splits his teammate and Esteban Ocon in 7th.
So Lewis Hamilton has pitted. He's been on the radio to say, my front wing hit the wall. So he's obviously had a bit of an adventure out there somewhere. Hopefully we'll pick that up shortly.
Now, Aston Martin, 12th and 14th Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll in final practice. They, I believe, were trying something with the rear wing, maybe trying to put a bit more downforce into the car, and they're going to go a different way for qualifying.
Williams is slippery.
So what is the pace then of Fernando Alonso on his first run? As you said, Martin, it's flat all the way to the line, and 4th fastest so far, just behind Max Verstappen.
Yeah, the Aston is quick again this weekend. So Lewis Hamilton had to avoid the bag, I think, of a slowing Team Haas car.
What?
And then in doing so, clouted the wall, is my understanding. Again, we haven't seen a replay yet. But so Lewis Hamilton in the wars with that one then.
Kevin Magnussen, sorry Martin, goes 5th fastest. His teammate Nico Hulkenberg
that's
11th.
just, that's OCD.
What happened then to Lewis Hamilton as we approach turn 17?
So it's an outlap, isn't it? He's not flat out at this point.
Oh, what is that?
Check front wing of the wall. Okay, copy, will do.
That was Kevin Magnussen.
What is he doing? Why didn't he just slow down? What is Lewis doing?
Control have noted potential impeding situation there for Kevin Magnussen. I mean, he absolutely did impede Lewis Hamilton, who had nowhere to go to the right of the Haas.
Was Lewis on a hot lap?
Was Lewis on a lap?
It was full beans down there, did it? It wasn't in slow-mo, was it? It was a full-speed replay. So it looked like, I'm sure Kevin Magnussen would have been told, Lewis is on an in or an out lap behind you.
I think the trouble, when you go slow on the racing line, then that sort of thing might happen. But stewards might say, well, Lewis could have gone to the left, and there was plenty of room there, as he wasn't on a flying lap himself. Oscar Piastri being overtaken there by Fernando Alonso as we head down to Ted.
After a little reset and a check of the front wing, Lewis Hamilton is out again. It's on the same set of tyres, though, guys, so they would have lost some of their freshness. And as for George Russell, just complaining that it's understeer in the car. Lots of understeer through turn 8, he's saying. So they'll see what they can do on his pits before. He'll definitely have to go
this
again.
Mercedes has a new problem every week. I can't be arsed.
Yeah, we got both Mercedes, 18th and 20th at the moment.
But Russell has just gone fastest through
Go on,
the
George,
first
the
sector.
fuck?
Lewis Hamilton, a time of a 1:30.5. Let's see if he
5
can improve
tenths.
on that. Oscar Piastri is right down there in the danger zone.
It's so slow in a straight line.
Lando Norris, Piastri's teammate.
It's like 12k slower than the Red Bull.
Lewis Hamilton. So on board then with George Russell. Patience required through this particular part of the lap.
The Mercedes is a handful over those little curbs, the hop, skip and jump I was talking about. They seem quite stiffly suspended in that respect, and
he lost 6
they don't
tenths.
absorb the single-wheeled
Oh my
curb.
god.
Oscar Piastri not finding the time that he really wants, despite going personal best first sector and second sector. Esteban Ocon is improving his situation at the moment too, and Pierre Gasly, his teammate, has just gone 6th fastest overall. Wherever you sit in the track, you want to get the best vantage point. George Russell giving you something to video with 8th fastest on the board.
Jesus.
Much better from the Mercedes. Look how tight it is. Down to George Russell, less than half a second between Sergio Perez with the fastest time and George Russell currently 8th fastest.
Yeah, a little more than the click of a finger, is it? But it matters.
I fear Max Verstappen is about to put a bit of distance between himself and the top 8 though, as Esteban Ocon goes 6th fastest, Charles Leclerc goes quickest overall, and Verstappen just making his way around turn 17 at the moment after setting the best first 2 sectors. Meanwhile, we're on
faster
board
than
here
George Russell.
In a rather trundling Ferrari of Carlos Sainz blocking his way.
Man,
Whoa.
the Ferrari just squeezed me to the wall, man. Guys, what the is he doing? Stay calm, John.
Yeah, stay calm.
Yeah, stay calm.
Yeah,
but
he killed his
yeah,
car.
His emotions under control. Yeah, if you drive a car angry, it goes sideways or backwards. It does not go forwards better if you're angry.
But you have to ask the question, was Carlos Sainz looking in his mirrors? Did he see the car behind him?
Absolutely not. He had no idea he was there, did he?
At all, man.
The stewards will investigate after the session. I don't know if that's this Q1 or qualifying as a whole. The incident between Kevin Magnussen and Lewis
Yeah, F1 TV
Hamilton.
Sky Sports stream is about a minute behind the real thing, you know.
Just rather clunks the concrete wall. Here is Lewis Hamilton at a much faster speed now, but 7 tenths down through the first sector alone on the best first sector time
right.
so far.
And that's about where they've been now against Red Bull in that first sector. The middle sector is quite a long one here as well.
They were fastest, weren't they, George Russell and Lewis Hamilton in the FP1 first practice session, but that was due more to them coming out right at the last moment of that sector session where the track had improved than the pace that the Mercedes is showing on the track this weekend. Hamilton goes only 10th fastest.
Oh my God.
Looking at this, Hamilton 10th, Russell 11th. When we get into Q2, once again, we could find a Mercedes out of the top 10 here.
And there's only 300ths of a second between the pair of them, which is always bad news as well. Tells you your two great drivers are just about getting the most out of it. But that's Mercedes alarm bells will be going off at that. Only 10th and 11th.
It's all rather different, isn't it, with Mercedes to a few years ago. Trying to find some pace back in that car again. 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, Xavi, let's be much more on it. The traffic is stressful, so just tell me the car.
Oh, they made a car this shit after last year, man.
I want to know. That's the only thing I want to know.
Copy understood.
I think that's a very sensible request there.
It's actually worse than last year's performance.
Help me out here. Keep it as calm as you can.
Yep. And Norris under pressure down in 19th and still in the pits. There's time yet, but Alex Albon up in 5th place for Williams. That's the track is ramping up nicely, but so is Albon's performance. What can you tell us down there, Ted?
I can tell you that Lando's going to take a new set of tyres, has to really, and the other thing he has to do is to find at least 6/10, probably 3/4 of a second. 3/4 of a second round this track, where the difference between the top 10 has been sometimes a 10th. And that's going to be a very tall order, but that's the cutoff, a 1:28.8, something like that. Lando's quickest so far, a 1:29.6. He's got to find a massive chunk of time on his last attempt if he's to get out of this session.
And probably helped out a little bit by the fact that the
is
track
Lando
is
doing?
ramping up. It's very hot conditions here as well. Fernando Alonso being told by his team to do a double cool lap. So go push, go hard, and then take 2 laps to cool those tyres down before you go again. Better from Hulkenberg.
Oh my God,
Fastest
that's
from him. Sonoda follows him over the line, goes
7/10 faster than
Joe now into the
Mercedes.
top 10. That leaves De Vries, Norris, Piastri, Sargent, and George Russell in the bottom 5 as Valtteri Bottas goes 5th fastest.
But there you go again. Make of this what you will. De Vries now into the top 10. It's anybody's game out there after the Red Bulls.
The only 2 drivers that I think they think
Oh
are
my
safe is
God,
Max
bro.
Verstappen and Sergio Perez, who are in the garage at Red Bull. Gasly, Hamilton and Russell need to get back out on the track again before the checkered flag comes out to try and set a lap to get themselves out of the bottom 5. And oh dear, you need to look, don't you?
Oh.
Whoa, that was unsafe release.
We're okay.
Yeah, we're okay. Almost got taken out by an Alpha though.
So I think there's 2 impeding moments here and an unsafe release. The stewards are going to be busy after this.
They are, but that was a great lap from Hulkenberg. 1:27.9, 6/10 behind the Red Bull. That's extraordinary.
On his first
What a lap.
First visit to the track as well. Wasn't here, of course, last year, Nico Hulkenberg. He has been
Lewis got the new set on.
superb in qualifying for Haas so far this year. Here's a man that has been brilliant in qualifying across so many years. Lewis Hamilton, 103 pole positions to his
Well, I
name.
mean, what I'm saying is
His
the first
target
lap
is not
was
pole,
used,
it looks like today. His
so he
target
should
in the next 2
go
minutes of the
significantly
mix
faster.
to get out of the bottom 5. This man's target, Lando Norris, pole sitter, of course, before in Sochi.
No, he broke his front wing, so we went back out on the same set. I don't know what George is doing though.
Russell is down there. Oscar Piastri is down there. This is going to be a stampede.
But Lewis's lap was used, yeah, so I don't know.
Cars out on track, all on brand new tyres, and do they ever need it? Mercedes-Benz down in 16th and 17th at the moment. So these laps really.
Oh, if there's a red flag or some
Mercedes
shit.
F1 have never ever had 2 cars go out in the first part of qualifying. And as it stands at the moment, Lewis Hamilton and George Russell are both in that bottom 5. Here's Lando Norris then for McLaren. Jeff Bezos, isn't he? On their pit wall. Trying to lend some support. Is this time for McLaren's drivers to deliver something special out on that track?
Perez has come out, 19 cars out there, but Perez on used tyres, so it won't affect his opportunities, options of new tyres later in qualifying.
Kevin Magnussen goes 3rd fastest for Haas. The track is ramping up here. Being out there, Martin, on the right tyres at the right time could be the key here.
Yeah, and that's right now. So Norris is up on his personal best, so is Sargent in the Williams down there. This could be last driver over the line that could make the difference here. The track, as you say, is changing. They're getting in the groove on low fuel, new tyres, and of course they've got nothing to lose as Sainz splits the Red Bulls.
Second fastest for Carlos Sainz, started on the front row last year. It was a Ferrari front row lockout, remember. Pierre Gasly is at risk, but there are many above him that are also at risk as Sargent crosses the line, goes 13th fastest. While I tell you that, the steer racing control have noted that incident between Joe and Carlos Sainz. That might be being investigated by the stewards too. George Russell is a little bit up on the time he needs to get out of the bottom 5. Fernando Alonso goes 8th
A little
fastest
bit
as he
up.
crosses the line.
Oh my
Anyone who's
God,
not
bro.
made it to the line now cannot start another lap. Lando Norris goes 11th fastest. Is that enough to get Lando Norris out of Q1? Because behind him, they're all setting personal best sector times.
A lot of understeer there in George's Mercedes. You could see he was waiting for the front to turn.
Norris could be in trouble here. Joe goes 9th fastest. Yuki Tsunoda only 13th fastest. Lance Stroll's really in trouble as well as Esteban Ocon goes 6th fastest. Aston Martin could have a car out in Q1 as Valtteri Bottas now goes
Mate, what are we
6th
watching?
fastest. Gasly, Hamilton, Russell, Piastri all setting personal
What the
best
fuck? It's
sectors.
just
Piastri,
track.
though, can't get out of that bottom 5. Here now, round the final few corners goes George
This
Russell.
track
As
is
Stroll goes into the
horrendous.
bottom 5. Gasly goes 9th fastest. Russell goes top 10. That puts Yuki Tsunoda down into the bottom 5, and I said Lando Norris could be in trouble, and it could be Lewis Hamilton that knocks him out, and it is Lewis Hamilton that knocks him out as Mercedes get their cars out of Q1 at the expense of the
It's
two
faster,
McLarens
bro.
of Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. Logan Sargent's not improving, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the first part of qualifying.
It is pretty
Any
bad.
of your thoughts, Toto Wolff? A little bit close, wasn't it?
That doesn't
They got through easily enough in the end, didn't they? Wow. De Vries just sneaked through, so we've lost both McLarens, the AlphaTauri of Tsunoda, Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin. That's a big surprise. And Logan Sargent started well in this qualifying session, but
I
sadly
can't believe
ended up
this
20th
track
and
is
final grid position. Of
so
course,
poor.
as you know, if you watch his
It's just-
frequently, that just sets the grid for 16, 17, 18, 19.
How is this even FIA certified?
Everybody else's time
With
doesn't
a track
matter.
surface like
Logan
this.
Sargent in his home Grand Prix will start last. Oscar Piastri will be alongside him on the back row. Yuki Tsunoda and Lando Norris
Yeah.
also going out of qualifying. The big story, Lance Stroll, who started from the pit lane to finish 10th
Yeah.
here last year, will start down the back again. He's been knocked out in Q1. What happened to him at Aston Martin?
It's 46.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the temp keeps rising as well. That's
Well,
ridiculous.
Are we through or no?
No, we're not.
Well, P20.
Yes, it's very tight.
No, we're just checking track limits on some other cars, so just sit there for a second, please.
What the fuck?
Are we through or no?
No, we're not.
Well, P20.
Yes, it's very tight.
So as the stewards are looking at that moment with Lewis Hamilton, I thought, so should I. And here he was on that lap. So it was indeed an out lap. You can see how slowly he's going, preparing turn 16. He's got cars in front of him. And I'll just fast forward that for you as he gets on the loud pedal down towards turn 17, overtakes one of the Hasses. And then on the way into that corner, actually going quite slowly, but he was in a train of cars, so I'm not quite sure what else the other cars in front could have been doing at that moment. They were all just preparing to get onto their fast lap.
Are we through or no?
Oh wait, is it back?
Well, P20.
Yes, it's very tight.
P20 Sergeant from race swaps.
No, we're just checking track limits on some other cars, so just sit there for a second, please.
Oh, that sinking feeling when you think you've done, and you know you've done everything you can, but then you know that it's not enough. Both Logan Sargent and Lando Norris out in the first part of qualifying, leaving us with 15 drivers to go in Q2, and you can choose to ride on board with any one of those 15 drivers and listen to their team radio too. Get started. All you need to do is download your Sky Sports app to your phone or your tablet device, log in with your Sky ID, head to the Sky Sports F1 channel and choose your
15 on board, logging with your Sky ID. Oh my god, broken record.
This experience via the interactive button on your remote control. We're almost ready for the green light. Just to bring you news from the stewards room, no further investigation for an impeding incident, Gasly and Magnussen. No further investigation on the unsafe release, Sonoda, almost into the path of Nico Hülkenberg. No further investigation on the Zhou Guanyu Carlos Sainz moment as well, which has surprised me.
I'm going to go get...
Again, they were both on slow laps.
Ice cream.
But, yeah, quite clearly Carlos wasn't aware, hadn't been told, wasn't aware he was out there.
And as for the Lewis Hamilton and Kevin Magnussen, no news as yet.
I would imagine. I don't know if Lewis was just looking down at his steering wheel, making some changes, getting ready for the lap. But it almost seemed to catch him out, didn't it, when he got down there and he instinctively went right instead of left.
So out in front, the two Red Bulls, and they've come to the end of the pit lane quite early. Max Verstappen is going to lead the 15 cars out. His teammate Sergio Perez will follow on behind. There was about 0.3 of a second difference between the two Red Bulls at the end of Q1. There was an almighty rush to get out of that bottom 5. Leaving it as late as possible seemed to be a very good idea.
Yeah, I think what Red Bull want to do here is get a lap on the board before the yellow flags start flying, or indeed red flags, if anything happens. So it makes sense to get out there and get a lap up on the board.
And as for the team in second place in the Constructors' Championship, well, Lance Stroll is already out. Fernando Alonso only just escaped Q1 by the skin of his teeth. What's happened to Aston Martin's pace, I wonder? Ted Kravitz.
It's a good point you make about Fernando Alonso. It's not as if he was in the top 10, Crofty, and Lance only lost a 10th to his Spanish teammate in the first two sectors. I think they're the best sector. They were more or less equal the final part of the lap. So McLaren might have tried appealing to the referee for anybody else's track limits. They weren't successful, and Lando Norris is indeed out of the car and going to the weighbridge. They can try these teams, but I haven't known anybody to be successful, Crofty, have you?
No. it's always worth just staying there for a few moments, but yeah, it doesn't often work, that one. Young and old, well, young and older.
Right, I'm back.
Father and son, I assume, cheering on from the grandstands. They're expecting 30,000 more fans here at the Miami Grand Prix this year than we had last year.
In Q2.
A few more grandstand seats in to accommodate that. Red Bull have turned up here with a special one-off livery as well. Let's see how swift it is then through the corners. Martin Brundle and Max Verstappen.
I like the livery, and the yellow snout is really good to intimidate your rivals when you're catching them in their mirrors as well. So quite patient there through the first corner was Max. Car complaining a little bit under maximum acceleration, and it should start coming to him. Mercedes are out there on used tyres. They're trying to get themselves back in the right place on the tyre allocation, having had to use 2 new sets in Q1. And this is where it really starts to speed up through the walls. You put entire trust in the marshals and the light system there to make sure when you flick through a wall like this at over 200 miles an hour, that there's not something just round there. And now the technical part. This right-hander, and that's a tyre torturer there. And look how the Red Bull can hug the inside, hug the curb. And then you've got this little chicane that's, as I say, been elongated this year to make it slightly less clumsy for these 5 and a bit metre long, 2 metre wide cars, and stay to the wall on the right-hand side now.
Oh, and I thought it had been bit changed. It looked like it.
About 215, 217 miles an hour. You've got any number of boards on the right-hand side for brake marker points. And squeeze the throttle like it's got an egg underneath it. You don't want to brake initially to get the car up and running, then floor it and go up through the shifts. And we're in the low 127s. Handy.
Oh my God.
Q2 last year, 129.1. Charles Leclerc was the fastest time. We are 2 seconds faster than that.
2 seconds faster than last year. Are we kidding?
First run. Sergio Perez was a couple of tenths behind him. Zhou Guanyu lost 7 tenths to Max Verstappen in the first sector alone. 4th fastest just behind George Russell, who goes over the line now in a time of a 128.1. So Mercedes a full 1 second behind the Red Bulls.
On used tyres, just to reiterate that. So actually that nearly matches.
I mean, the all-time lap record at Baku was broken. These cars appear to be as fast,
into the 27s,
if not faster than any car in F1 history, other than maybe 2020.
For him, a little bit closer to Max Verstappen, and we have everyone out there.
Pole position in Baku was half a tenth faster than Bottas in like 2019 or something.
Puts in a decent lap and into the 127 straight away.
And of course we've lost a quarter of the field, so traffic becomes slightly less painful, and increasingly so as we go through qualifying.
Had a Q1 elimination for Hulkenberg, didn't we, in Baku last time out. Other than that, he started 10th at every single race this season. Modicum of consistency, a bit like Carlos Sainz, who I think started 4th, 5th.
Americans.
In his Ferrari.
And Alfa Romeo without a Q3 appearance this year yet.
Which this time last year was a very different story. Here's Kevin Magnussen, slow motion replay, and you can just see the forces that go through both car and driver on the curb there. Trying to take it as smoothly as possible seems like an absolute impossibility.
Yeah, you got to say it's the single wheel movement you need, but these cars are so stiff on the suspension to keep the ground effect underfloor relatively stable and low to the ground to do their work, basically. So, and that's not consistent with riding a curb like a Rolls Royce or an old Citroën.
Here's another one that did some sterling work in the race here last year. Esteban Ocon was last on the grid and came home to finish 8th. The man as well that did some sterling work in Baku, did every lap bar 1 on the same set of tyres. Well, he's got a set of soft tyres on board the Alpine here, who have been pointless in the last couple of races and would dearly love to bounce back with a more solid weekend here in Miami this weekend. Through the first sector, 29.4 for Ocon, just 3 tenths off the best time in that sector set by Max Verstappen. His teammate Pierre Gasly also out on track too, as Ocon makes his way down to the next heavy braking point down at turn 11. You hope that the brakes do their job, because that's a short stopping distance for a lot of speed that you're decreasing there.
Yeah, you put absolute blind faith in those and the integrity of your suspension. You could never think about it. And you never look around a car these days anyway. You probably did 30, 40 years ago, but you never look around a car before you get in it. You know, it's there's nothing you can do about it. It's, you know, all the stress analysis has been done.
He'll get a decent tow as well down the back straight. Will Esteban Ocon, even though Alex Albon looked a long, long way away. And his middle sector, a 33.3, so he's dropped another couple of tenths, but that's not too bad for Ocon here. This could be a decent representative time that might take him into the top 4, and it does. 127.6 for Esteban Ocon as he crosses the line, a couple of tenths ahead of Nico Hulkenberg, and we wait to see his teammate Pierre Gasly, who has put in a very good first sector, but as the lap went on, he lost a bit of pace to his teammate. 5th fastest for him, but that's decent so far from the 2 Alpines. Still wait to see a time for Sainz and Leclerc and Albon and Bottas, but here is Charles Leclerc now, and you can see the top speed as we approach. That's turn 11, up to about 326 kilometers an hour, around about 200 miles an hour for Charles Leclerc. His teammate Carlos Sainz has found a bit of pace on the first sector. This is where the Ferrari has been strong in comparison to the Red Bull, but they're going to need a really good exit maybe some decent DRS and a toe or two down the back straight to try and live with the Max Verstappen and the Sergio Perez's of this world.
The way, despite all the drag at over 200 miles an hour, what's the speed?
What am I watching?
Relentlessly climbed. Nothing like a Red Bull, though.
Very true. Through the final proper corner goes Charles Leclerc, pole sitter here last year, and flat out to the line. Where's this going to put him? Into fourth, ahead of the Alpines, but his teammate Carlos Sainz is going great guns behind him, and we can see Sainz right now with the DRS wide open to go second fastest, just a few hundredths behind Max Verstappen.
This Red Bull's going to be even more successful than last year's.
Second sector somewhere, presumably under braking for that final turn 17 hairpin.
How is that going to happen?
6.5 minutes to go here. Bottas, De Vries, Joe, and
Hamilton
and Russell in the bottom 5. Did wonder if the two Ferraris were on a new set versus old set there, but I'm told no, both on a new set of tyres, which makes that time for Carlos Sainz, I think, look even more impressive.
Yeah, I would say Carlos has looked more comfortable and faster here than of late, actually, hasn't he? Certainly than Baku. Last weekend, he's looked like he's more on top of the car.
He crashed at the exit of turn 13 here last year, then went and put his Ferrari on the front row before finishing third.
He was up a lot of escape roads in Baku over the weekend, wasn't he, Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari? So he's definitely more comfortable.
An early prediction for the championship from the Sergio Perez fans in the grandstand. If he turns around, he'd see his driver, his favourite driver, coming into the pits. 1:27.3 for Sergio
Oh my
Perez.
God! Do they ever speak without shouting?
On his way in, presumably charging the battery up, but now he's got to stop at the weighbridge, which with 5.5 minutes to go is not ideal.
Was there a little mistake on this lap? I wonder. Sergio Perez through these really firmly committed corners 4 and 5.
Fucking hell.
Copy.
And he did.
That's odd, isn't it? That's like when he was leading in Baku, like he's looking left and veering right there.
The two Alfa Romeos practicing the toe, I wonder, down the back straight. We'll find out if it works. Ted Kravitz, down to you.
Yeah, waiting to see what Valtteri Bottas has got in his car or up his sleeve. Maybe he can get a toe and get into Q3 in that Alfa Romeo Sauber. But the fight for 6th, 7th and 8th is quite tight. Esteban Ocon,
Rare Alfa Romeo
doing
fan.
great things in the Williams when you consider that his teammate Logan Sargent was out and last. And Pierre Gasly 8th, but it's Gasly who's struggling in the Alpine more than Ocon. He says he just can't get the car turned. He brakes, and then the problem is actually rotating the car, getting it in, past the corner, and then on the throttle. That's the area he needs to find some time in. He's losing out there at the moment.
So the track temperature's dropped 7 degrees. That's nearly 20% since we started qualifying. And I think it's a bit like a qualifying cloud that we used to love. Somehow you find a little bit more grip and a little bit more engine power.
So I mentioned, were the two Alfa Romeos trying to help each other out with a toe? Maybe
Max will get into the 26s.
Very close
Easy.
to each other on these flying
Max will
laps
get,
now, approaching turn 11.
Max will get probably like a 26.5.
Valtteri Bottas. Can they get a car into Q3 for the first time this season? It's going to be.
How the fuck did they get 3 seconds faster nearly over the winter?
So far, and Zhou Guanyu down in 13th place, but these are improvements.
Well, yeah,
through the first
everyone.
Zhou Guanyu, couple of tenths in hand through the first couple of sectors.
Yeah, they're expected to be 5 tenths a lap average on slower.
Carlos nimbled through that Mickey Mouse chicane.
Real.
It's quite good through there. So they're both on 2 personal bests, as you point out. Bottas a couple of tenths clear.
I love it. I wonder when we get down to the opinion about the chicane. It was elongated, now it's Mickey Mouse. You don't like it at all, do you?
No, I do, because I like to see the cars, really working hard and the drivers finessing that sort of area. But yeah, I don't know. It's an old expression, isn't it? But I was surprised because I didn't see it written anywhere. It was explained to me that they've just extended the apexes of that little chicane and to speed it up a little bit.
It still looks clumsy whenever a driver approaches it, I must admit. But we're in Florida, the home of the theme parks. Let's have a Mickey Mouse chicane. Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Could be a new ride.
Yeah.
Bottas goes 6th fastest, and that was a decent time from him. Zhou Guanyu's got some more pace to find out there. But maybe next time around, he might just get the benefit of some help from his teammate to lift him out of that bottom 5. We've got 2.5 minutes to go here. And this is just a little sparring session before the gloves come off, before we really go for it on the final flying laps.
No disrespect to Mr. Michael Malks, of course.
No. Been a big fan for many, many years. What happened to Fernando Alonso coming out into the pit lane? Yeah.
That was a dangerous release by the Haas.
It was, yeah.
That was a conversation for race control, but yeah, the Haas did come out and Fernando looked like he had to pretty much stop.
Yeah, you know, when you made the decision to, you know, tell the driver who's got to engage first gear and to leave, there's always a momentary lapse on that, and especially if you're further down the pit lane at all times, you've got more chance of that. I don't think there'll be a problem there.
Well, they didn't make any contact. That was the good thing. We're watching Kevin Magnussen, currently 12th fastest. Charles Leclerc has just put in the best middle sector that we've seen so far.
Ours look on rails this season, like they did in 2020.
Charles Leclerc making his way towards the line and goes quickest by about 1/10 and a half from Max Verstappen.
The track is changing. That's his 5th lap on
Jesus Christ.
So hinting there at very low degradation on these soft compound tyres.
It's not a race tyre though, is it? It's not a tyre they're planning.
Bro, why are Mercedes pushing it? What are they doing?
One stopper for tomorrow, Fernando Alonso.
Bro, if there's a fucking red flag and they choose to not restart the session, Mercedes are fucked.
To the first sector, and Nico Hülkenberg is just warming himself up, I think, to try and get to the line.
Yeah, I know, but they could just go out and set a fucking banker lap that isn't as shit as that. I know they already set one, but
Hülkenberg is currently 10th fastest, is in a spot of danger if he's going to make it into the top 10 this weekend. Verstappen sets a personal best through the middle sector. Magnussen 2 personal bests, and that pit lane incidents involving Nico Hülkenberg and Fernando Alonso has been noted by race control. Here comes Kevin Magnussen, and a dash to the line. Would like to out-qualify his teammate for the first time this year, and he's put himself in almost pole position, but certainly pole position at Haas to do just that. 7th fastest as Verstappen goes quickest overall, now by 1/10 and a half to Charles Leclerc.
Pole position, he's a second
going to
off.
finish as he crosses the line. Top 3 for him, which is a bit more like it for Aston Martin.
And used tyres for Verstappen as well. The track is really improving.
Hulkenberg now finds himself down in that bottom 5. Pierre Gasly in trouble. Esteban Ocon goes 6th fastest, and the checkered flag is now out. Nick de Vries crosses the line, has reached Q2 at least this weekend. 3 out of 4 Q1 eliminations this season, but he's the slowest of the 15, and George Russell just squeezes in to the top 10, but his teammate Lewis Hamilton is out of qualifying. Oh, right at the last, he put his best personal sector in the final bit of the lap, but he just couldn't get into the top 10, and we speculated Mercedes might have a car outside of the top 10. Well, they certainly have, and it's Lewis Hamilton who's been out-qualified by George Russell. Alex Albon goes 11th fastest.
George Russell might get put out of Q2.
Who has never failed to qualify outside of the top 6 in any race he's made in the United States. Lewis Hamilton is 13th on the grid.
I think he had a bit of a drama in turns 1 and 2. We'll have a look, see if we can find it. So I think he had a difficult start to the lap. And
that's what I'm saying, man. Why are they just going out at the last minute? They're not the old team they were. They can't just go out at the end of qualifying sessions and put the fastest lap in anymore.
For Lewis Hamilton.
Left that way too late, guys.
Yes, Lewis. So, yeah, P13, I'm afraid. So that's us done.
Hamilton not happy with the timing that he was out on the track. He is out.
Way too late, yeah, it's fucking stupid of them. What are they doing?
What happens?
Made him push on his outlap. Morons, bro.
Yeah, it's sliding around a lot, isn't it?
Worst ever qualifying on US soil for Lewis Hamilton. He is out of Q2, along with Nick de Vries at AlphaTauri, Joe Guan Yu, Nico Hülkenberg and Alex Albon. Bottas makes the top 10, Alfa Romeo in Q3 for the first time this season.
Mate, you know what I miss in ACC?
What?
The option to do like we did in F1, to do AI races like together.
Yeah.
That is way better for testing and practice and shit.
Yep.
Because doing if I want to do a 60-minute race, I need to do that against AI because there's no online races where you can just do that. Unless you're doing a league race, but yeah, good luck. And doing it by yourself is boring, so getting the data for the race is good. We'll see.
The session to forget for Lewis Hamilton there. We've managed to find the clip of that mistake in turn 1, just the rear going light just at the wrong point. That compromises turn 2, and you can hear he's desperately trying to get on power, but it was too compromised through 2 and through turn 3 on the wrong line. So a lap to forget for Lewis Hamilton. But as we said at the top, this track's going to punish you for even the smallest of mistakes. And this was his first run in that session. For those of you wondering why he lost time to George Russell, it was here. Good old turn 17, catching another one out. So really not ideal for Lewis Hamilton in Q2, and yeah, P13, definitely a day to forget. Back to you, Crofty.
Thanks ever so much indeed. And Lewis Hamilton then out of the car, is worst ever qualifying on US soil, as I mentioned, and his first failure to reach Q3 since Monza 2022. As for his fellow Lando Norris, he didn't make it out of Q1 today.
I don't think he'd leave. But if they keep doing this to him, at this point I don't think he'd leave, but he keep doing this shit, he might consider it.
A little bit, maybe not a lot. No.
There's nowhere for him to go though.
We were just, we overperformed. We showed too much performance in a way. We not just showed too much performance, we just biased towards trying to get a bit more.
Somehow he became a free agent, if he not free, but if he somehow put himself up on the market, I could see teams like Ferrari replacing him for Sainz, replacing Sainz for him or something like that.
Or you have had, are they working? Are they not for this track? They're
working well.
Like a Daniel Kvyat type of thing. Yeah.
What are you lacking in this car?
The car is not really much different. We've improved little tiny things here and there.
It'd never be a Red Bull.
It's an update, but it's not transformed. It's not meant to transform the car. It's just a different direction.
And there's no other team. If Aston Martin stays dominant, maybe.
Patient still. Yeah, we're not expecting to be quick all of a sudden or easily competing for Q3s. I think we know that.
Max and Lewis, bro.
Yeah, can you imagine?
It's just tough.
Q1 exit for Lando Norris for the second time this season and the third time in his career, and joining him in getting knocked out at Q1 was Lance Stroll.
Lance, that's a real shame. That's a real shame. The car's been showing so much promise. What happened?
Nothing.
I'm going to be honest, I think if Lewis was in a Red Bull, I don't think there would be competition between him and Max. I think Max obviously has a lot of pace, but I think if you put Max in the W11 in 2020, Lewis would still dominate.
But while some are struggling, Red Bull certainly have the pace out in front. Christian Horner live from the Red Bull pit wall. Christian,
yeah, obviously when you times get used to it,
but
not much
to choose between them when they're out on track. Are you looking forward to a pole position celebration today?
Well, we've still got another session to navigate, and you can see Ferrari is pretty close, only a tenth and a half behind with Charles. So, and it's pretty gusty. I don't know whether you guys are picking that up, but there's the strong gusts of winds that can affect the cars through that first
sector. It's Max Verstappen racing.
A little bit of a lottery through that first part of the circuit.
Any serious damage to Sergio's car after that glance on the wall?
No, nothing structural, so it all looked okay, and he ran that set of tyres again.
Christian, thanks ever so much. We'll leave it there. as Max Verstappen comes out onto the track. One of 10 drivers still left in qualifying, and you can watch on board and listen to the team radio with any one of those 10 brand new for 2023. We've got all the drivers on board and all their team radio. And to get started, download the Sky Sports app to your phone or your tablet, log in with your Sky ID, and head to the Sky Sports F1 channel to choose your driver. Sky Glass, Sky Q and Sky Stream customers, you can also access this experience via the interactive button on your remote control. We have two Red Bulls in Verstappen and Perez. We have an Aston Martin Fernando Alonso. We have an Alpine.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind really, to be honest, whenever.
We have Kevin Magnussen out qualifying his teammate for the first time this season. We have George Russell, the one remaining Mercedes left in this session. The Ferraris of Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz in for the first time in Q3.
Well, doesn't the race end at like 6 p.m. anyway?
It's the race for pole position.
When's it start?
Ted Kravitz.
Yeah, Valtteri Bottas, Kevin Magnussen and two Alpines. Great performances from them. The last word on Lewis Hamilton is just to explain what he meant by we left it too late, guys. He means we understand that he feels that the team left it too late to send him out to the garage. He found himself in traffic. It wasn't a clean outlap, and that compromised his tyre preparation for his fast lap.
Start, so it finishes at 8:30.
See him out by a couple of tenths.
Big shock, Martin Brundle, or is it a big shock given the pace of that Mercedes this weekend?
They've been struggling, haven't they? Russell just squeaked through somehow, but we've got 4 outliers. It's probably being a bit unkind. Excuse me, but being a bit unkind to them because they're going really well around here. But, you know, Ocon, Gasly, Magnussen and Bottas in the top 10 shootout is outside of the form we've seen so far this year, by and large. So that's what's catching people out, like Lewis Hamilton and McLaren, for example.
Now, Christian Horner mentioned that the wind is picking up. Fernando Alonso saying to his team that it's getting a bit gusty out there as well, nearly 15 kilometers an hour, blowing across much of the track here. The drivers might need to get used to the wind, because I think there's increased winds forecast for tomorrow as well. And was that wind-induced, that little moment there for Max Verstappen?
And another one too, could well have been. So 3 horrible corners, so horrible in fact he's given up on that lap, but that could well be the gusty conditions that Christian Horner was just telling us about.
So, Max Verstappen having to bail out on his first flying run. Sergio Perez, meanwhile, going half a second, near enough, quicker than Esteban Ocon through the first sector. I mentioned those two because they're the first two through the first sector.
And that puts Max Verstappen under a lot of pressure there now, because if it is gusty and it's a little bit variable, he's got to go out and pin a lap time, but we know he can do that.
So, Sergio Perez, who saves his pole positions normally for Jeddah, both of his pole positions coming in Formula One at the Saudi Grand Prix, might just put himself in the box seat without even knowing it at the moment. His teammate Max Verstappen, no time on the board.
What can George do?
Down the back straight.
Yeah, Perez quick through there. He's
Even though I'm not a huge fan of George, I mean, it is what it is.
Line for 16 and 17. But he's still on a very, very tiny lap.
Here he goes then.
To be honest, I'm rooting for Perez at this point.
Sergio Perez
for the championship.
Red Bull on provisional pole, a 1:26.8. We are into the 1:26s, ladies and gentlemen. Who's got the machine to try and beat that?
We were into the 1:26s. You too, Crofty, what are you chatting?
Behind Esteban, charging to the line, Fernando Alonso, provisionally on the front row, and George Russell goes third fastest of the 4 times we've had so far. Fernando Alonso, remember, never taken pole in the US or indeed won in the United States of America either. Pierre Gasly goes third fastest, and that is a very decent lap from Pierre Gasly, just a few hundredths ahead of George Russell.
Perez's time still not quite as fast.
Mercedes are actually midfield team.
Verstappen's in Q2 on used tyres, so looks to me like you want to be mid 1:26s.
They're a midfield team this weekend. Oh my god.
Into the top 3.
What the fuck is Haas doing?
And that is a lock-up for Charles Leclerc, who set the best middle sector and was looking at least to put that Ferrari on the front row, but that has cost him dear as he crosses the line, only 6th fastest.
Yeah, you've done all
he
that.
He still gets the same time as George. Oh my god.
More or less the last thing you've got to do on the lap, and it's all over.
And Carlos Sainz's teammate crosses the line.
7 cars within
Perez,
a tenth.
Only good enough for third fastest.
Oh, 2 tenths.
So for those contenders for pole, one by one.
Wait, no, that's like 5 cars.
This man first, Max Verstappen, and we can have a look at a replay through turn 4 and 5. Right, got a bit hairy.
Yeah, on the direction change, and then...
Went wide.
So he went wide because he was still scooping it up from turn 5. Looked like all 4 wheels off the close to being off the road there, but it didn't matter anyway.
The track,
because
it's...
he was still recovering.
It's not. The tarmac's not high enough quality.
And this is Leclerc then, pinning
I don't
the
know.
braking point. And just as he started to turn the wheel to get into the apex, the inside front snatch, then both right across the front axle, and that wrecked the lap for Charles Leclerc. So Perez gets a representative lap on the board. We think Alonso was on used tyres for that 127.2. And if that's the case, that's a cracking lap with some more potential to come.
So, Charles Leclerc locking up, Max Verstappen running wide, Carlos Sainz not able to extract the maximum pace from his Ferrari, leaving Sergio Perez on provisional pole with Fernando Alonso alongside him on the front row. If we got a yellow flag here and the order didn't change, what a grid that would give us for the Miami Grand Prix tomorrow. Perez and Alonso on the front row, Sainz and Magnussen on row 2, Gasly and Russell row 3, Leclerc on row 4, and Verstappen and Bottas on row 5.
Yeah, it'd be a very unusual grid all the way through.
Yeah,
but 5 minutes to go to sort that out yet. And as I said, Max, and this is Sergio, of course, but Max has really got to pin a lap now, knowing that there's a little bit of peril out there.
Ferrari locked out the front row here.
They just had the number 1 for Sergio Perez on the graphic.
From it at the moment, but there's plenty of time for it all to change.
I'm just thinking of that 26.8 that Max did on used tyres in Q2. 27.2 Fernando's just done on scrubbed, or you begin to wonder if that's not the golden ticket. A tyre that's had a run and just had a little bit of a heat cycle through it. But it's unusual. It's very unusual, especially with Pirelli tyres. New almost always equals better.
But on a track that is so smooth in its surface, and the team's having no data on this track before this weekend as well.
Yeah.
If a team spotted that, and if it is true, that could be a masterstroke here.
Yeah, and no data on this track surface anyway. But made it all look great, didn't it?
Yeah. Check the car, I think. We touched the wall in turn 17.
That might have been on his mind.
Sorry, turn 16.
Might have been on his mind when he hit the brake pedal down at the far end, because that's where the mistake came.
And it's a bit of a tailwind, I think, now into that turn 17 where he locked up. New tyres there for Max Verstappen.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what have you got, Max? And what have the rest of you got? We're already in for a fascinating grid.
Well, this, Martin, is where the cream rise to the top, when the pressure's on, when they've just got the one shot, as it were, to get themselves that pole position. And we've seen Leclerc and we've seen Verstappen deliver that in the past.
And I've seen Schumacher and Senna and Hakkinen go out in these conditions, and all through history, the truly great, and they'll go and find a third of a second out of nowhere, somehow, and make everybody scratch their heads.
Ted Kravitz, over to you.
Well, they might find a third of a second out of the track.
What the fuck are they doing in the pool?
The track continues to get better throughout the hour, and now actually I've got to say it was overcast a minute ago, Crofty. The sun has come out now. Don't know whether that will make a difference. Then it's actually Valtteri Bottas who's going to be the last one across the line at the end. He was the last one to leave the pit lane. Don't know how they'll shuffle them around, but it was Verstappen who led Perez out of the Red Bull garage. They do take it in turns, and it's Verstappen first on the road, Perez second out of the two Red Bulls. Pressure's on the world champion.
So Sergio will know what his teammates' sector times are, and whether he can respond or not, we shall see. And Verstappen will at least have the advantage of putting the pressure, well, potentially, on his teammate by getting in there first. What can Charles Leclerc do first, though, as he crosses the line to start his last flying lap of this qualifying session?
Peak power, peak grip, minimum fuel, maximum attack. This is it. Formula One at its finest.
And doesn't that look absolutely epic, that Ferrari?
Oh, that's going round.
Oh, that's not epic at all. That's Charles Leclerc into the barriers. And that is the end
Jesus
of his qualifying
Christ.
session. And there's yellow flags out there, and that is going to slow everybody down in that part of the track.
They'll have to red flag that straight away, which, of course, then they'll keep... Well, will there be enough time? If they don't red flag it soon, there won't be enough time for an outlap.
No, if they red flag it now, there is definitely not time
He's so
for an outlap.
pissed.
They have red flagged it.
Look at it, he's fucking moving so angrily.
They'd have to do a qualifying lap to get to the checkered flag in time. I get the feeling that could well be the end of qualifying, putting Sergio Perez on pole as Charles Leclerc, for the second time this weekend, puts his Ferrari into the barriers.
And the Alonso front row.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
I mean,
I do like him
and
though.
even then, if they do restart it, and there is enough time, yeah, as you say, it's a bad...
They won't.
No, they won't restart it. You're right. So it would be a banzai for like the first or second car out of the pits. It will not be resumed. They don't think there's enough time. So Perez then starts first. His teammate Verstappen starts 9th, paying a heavy price for that.
Well,
problem.
Checo, that's pole
I mean,
position.
Verstappen will be P2 in 2 laps. Verstappen will be P2 in 2 laps.
There for getting the banker lap in goes to Sergio
It'll be like
Perez.
Spa
What was I saying,
last year.
What a grid we'd have if there was no change in this qualifying now, and not for one moment did I wish an accident on Charles Leclerc, and it was looking absolutely brilliant until the car just went away from him. This
Perez will stay P1 for like at least half the race minimum. If not, Perez will probably lead every lap and win the race.
That's a headache for their strategy team to try and work out how to get the maximum from this race tomorrow.
I mean, Perez unless there is a safety car and Max is on a different strategy which gives him the better tyres, he's not going to get Perez. If Perez and Max on the same tyres after a safety car at the same age, Perez is winning that. It's a street circuit. Perez is actually insane around these type of things. Perez has been ahead of Max all weekend, apart from in FP3, where it was like still half a tenth between those.
There's no cut
FP2, yeah.
Until he hits something. We've seen it a lot through his career and a lot lately as well.
Awesome job, Jeff. Awesome job.
Oh, P4 guys, P4.
P4 is super.
This man, I think, as happy as he was when he was credited with pole
Where's
position
Magnussen placed?
in Sao Paulo last year for his one and only Formula One pole. Whew, what a race we've got in store for us tomorrow here. Let's have a little look what happened to Charles Leclerc.
What happened?
No, he's dropped it even before he really gets.
I've done that in F1 like 50 times.
With it. We saw Max Verstappen having a wobble or two through there, didn't we? So maybe it's just a little bit windy through there. And in the end, it didn't hit the barriers too hard. Let's hope it hasn't damaged the gearbox for him.
What a useless runoff, bro. Why is there not gravel there?
It wasn't that big a hit, thankfully. I tell you what, he was an awful long way off the racetrack as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, that's where he went into the barriers yesterday, but he went nose first then.
I'm sorry, guys, I'm sorry.
Just got to take 0.25% out of it somewhere, and he's doing a lot of damage to that Ferrari, isn't he? And at critical times. So yeah, I mean, Verstappen is going to need that Red Bull DRS a lot tomorrow, isn't he? The drag reduction system rear wing opening. We know it's so efficient, but he starts P9 on a really difficult track to overtake.
Well, back-to-back positions in Baku for the main race and the sprint race for Charles Leclerc. Was hoping to make it 3 poles in a row and become, well, King Charles III in terms of qualifying here in Miami, but there's no coronation for him. It's Sergio Perez who is crowned with that pole, and his teammate Max Verstappen who comes over to say well done. But on a weekend where Perez starts in the championship only 6 points behind Max Verstappen as well, well, what an absolute bonus that is for Sergio Perez, and what a day for that man there, Fernando Alonso. The average age of the front row, 37 years of age for tomorrow. Fernando Alonso's 41 and Sergio Perez is 33. And Fernando Alonso, for the first time ever, will start in the top 5. Since the final Indianapolis race in 2007. That was the last time he started in the top 5 here. He's the only driver on the grid who was in Indianapolis 2005 in that ridiculous weekend.
They started alongside each other, didn't they, in Jeddah, these two, and Alonso took the lead into the first corner. Perez's first pole position, not at the Jeddah Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Yeah, well, we said, didn't we, want to see Sergio Perez mount a challenge, you know, on a track where he hasn't necessarily been successful before. And he takes pole position. He's done what he needed to today.
Perez will probably lead the championship after this weekend.
Red flag and from Charles Leclerc.
Perez will probably lead the championship after this weekend.
Talk to our top three.
I guess you never know, because they might take him out as well. All the shit that's been happening.